You ever feel like you're just stuck? Like your career's in neutral, and no matter how hard you push, you're not going anywhere? Well, today we're going to look at a totally different idea. What if your career isn't some ladder you have to climb, but a system that you can actually engineer? Let's dive into the physics of career reengineering. So let's just ask the big question right up front. Is some kind of invisible friction stalling your move to the CXO suite? I mean, you're doing everything right? You're hitting your targets, you're probably working harder than ever, but that big promotion, it just feels like it's getting further away. If that sounds familiar, trust me, you are not alone. And the reason why this happens? Well, it's probably not what you think.
You know, we're all just drowning in career advice, aren't we? It's everywhere. All these tips, hacks, motivational quotes. But at the end of the day, what do we actually want? We want the outcomes. We want the promotion, the real growth, the tangible results. And that's the disconnect, right? There's this massive gap between all the advice out there and the results we're actually trying to get.
And of course, when things stall, it's so easy to blame yourself. You start thinking, maybe I'm just not talented enough. But what if that's completely the wrong way to look at it? Because here's the thing. Careers almost never stall because of a lack of talent.
Okay, so if it's not about talent, then what is the real problem? Well, it's this idea of invisible friction. I love this analogy. Imagine you're in a really powerful car, but the handbrake is just slightly engaged. You can slam on the gas, you can burn all the fuel you want, but you're constantly fighting this unseen force that's holding you back. That's exactly what this invisible friction is doing to your career.
So what does this friction actually look like in the real world? It really breaks down into three main things. First, you've got energy leaks. This is just that feeling of burnout, where all your effort feels scattered on stuff that doesn't actually matter. Second, there's misaligned positioning, and this one is huge. It's when you're seen as a really good tactical person, a doer, but not as a strategic leader. And finally, patterns under pressure. That's when the pressure's on, and you fall back into those same old habits that hold you back. I mean, do any of these sound a little too familiar?
And the usual solution you hear for this is what? Just be more motivated. But think about it. That's like trying to fix that stuck brake by just revving the engine louder. It's not about more force. It's about fixing the underlying problem. So the solution here isn't more motivation. It's re-engineering.
And that's where this idea of career physics comes in. It's all about a total mindset shift. Instead of treating your career like it's all about luck or passion, you start treating it like an engineering problem. And the great thing about engineering problems is that they can be solved with a systematic approach that gets you clear, predictable outcomes.
So how do you actually do this? What are the mechanics? Well, it boils down to three key steps. First up, you audit entropy. Basically, you hunt down exactly where your energy is leaking out on low-impact stuff. Next, you build coherence. This is all about making sure your execution and your presence are aligned so that everything you do screams strategic leader, not just good manager. And finally, you shift the observer state. This is about learning to step back from all the daily chaos to see the bigger picture so you can make much smarter decisions. Now, it's really important to get this. This isn't just some abstract theory. It's a real, structured, data-driven sprint that takes about 6 months. You could think of it like a proper project plan, but the project is your career. It's all about methodical action, not just, wishful thinking.
Okay, so a structured process sounds great, but the real question is, does it actually work? What are the results when you apply this kind of re-engineering to your career? Let's take a look at the actual data.
And honestly, the results are pretty staggering. Look at this number, 5.8 months. That is the median time it takes for someone going through this to get promoted to an SBU head or CXO role. We're talking less than 6 months. That's not just making progress. That's like putting your career on a rocket ship.
And hey, it's not just about getting a new title. We're talking about real money. For 180 leaders who went through this, it added up to a combined 32 crore rupees in additional annual pay. I mean, those are absolutely life-changing numbers. This is the proof that this system really, really works.
So you have to be asking, how is this even possible? Well, it all hinges on one powerful idea. It's this. When your internal operating system changes, your external outcomes have no choice but to follow. You don't get the new job and then try to change. You change on the inside first.
Yeah, it's all about upgrading your internal OS. Think about it. Your career runs on your personal operating system, your mindset, your habits, how you react under pressure. And if you're running on old, outdated software, you're going to get bugs and crashes. This whole thing is about a system upgrade. And once you do that upgrade from the inside,
The promotions, the bigger compensation, they just become the natural, almost inevitable result. So really, it all boils down to this one simple phrase: proof, not poetry. We live in a world that is just full of career poetry. This is about proof. It's about making that shift from just hoping for a better career to actually systematically engineering one. So I'll leave you with this question. What's the one piece of invisible friction in your career that you can start to re-engineer starting today?